Livestock is commonly defined as domesticated animal raised in an agricultural setting to produce labor and commodities such as meat, eggs, milk, leather, and wool. One interesting trend in the composition of livestock is that indigenous species of cattle, sheep, and swine declined between 2017 and 2012, while that of crossbred or exotic population increased, which reflect the market orientation of producers. There are three examples of livestock in India. Firstly is cattle. The cattle bred are considered in India to be wholly or partly of India origin. Some may have complex or obscure history, so inclusion here does not necessarily imply that a breed is predominantly or exclusively Indian. Cow from this breed are often called Deshi cow. Secondly is sheep. The goat was the earliest ruminant to be domesticated. The Harappa toys contain representation of a goat. Two seals from Mohenjo-daro show a white bezel goat with animal skull horns, and bearded domestic male goat with side-spreading horn. Lastly is swine. A pig or swine is a pink or black animal with short legs and not much hair on its skin. Pigs are often killed on farm for their meat, which is called pork, ham, or bacon.
Hello everyone. Now I will present the housing system of livestock animal in India. For cattle, there are two types of housing system for them, which are the loosing housing system and conventional housing system. For the loose housing, the cattle are kept loose in the open area and they are allowed to move freely in the whole area of the building. So in this loose housing area, they are fencing about 5 feet height, and they are also providing the feeding, fodder and water at a certain time only. So when the weather is too hot or cold or rain, this loose housing had provided a cover sheet for the cattle. So there also will be a separate milking area for the milking cattle with complete milking facilities. Besides that, from the conventional housing for cattle is the cattle will be tied in a stall for feeding, watering, milking, and resting. So in this area, the feed will deliver to the cattle in a trough in front of them, so it can protect the cattle from heavy rains and strong winds. So for this conventional housing system, there are two types, which is tail-to-tail system and face-to-face system. For the tail-to-tail system, the cattle will be tied in shade in the opposite direction, which is you all can see through the picture in this slide. So what is the benefit for this tail-to-tail system is there are the chances for disease transmission between each others can be reduced. So it's also easier for the cleaning activities of sheep and easy for the milking activities for the milking cattle as well. Last, this tail-to-tail system is the cattle can get more fresh air from outside. While for the face-to-face system, the cattle will be tied in the way of stand facing each other, which is you all can see through the picture in these slides. So what is the benefits for this face-to-face system is they are easy for feeding because the cattle are in the both rows, and the workers is just only to feed them in a time only. So it's also, this system also make a better show for the visitor when the cattle face together. So for the swine, there are two systems as well, which is double row system and open system. For the double row system is the feeding and watering is provided for them, for the swine. So because it is in the building, so it must be having a good foundation and good concrete system, so that the sleeping area will be always clean and the urine and wastage will be flow out easily. So the important thing is the worker need to always make sure the area is keep clean so that the disease will not be spread quickly. So the second system for swine is open system. So as you can see in the picture here, so the swine is keep outside the building area, which is they can walk freely in the area. But the bedding should be provided for them to keep them warm when they are raining or when they are resting in the shade area. So even though it is open system, but the feeding also providing to the swine.
Next, feeding standards are a recommendation set of data based on many studies and experiments of real animals living in real environments. Conventionally, the chart shows the types of feed available in India. It is divided into two parts, namely rough fish and concentrates. So rough fish is bulky fish having a large amount of more than 18% of crude fiber and low total digestible nutrients, which is less than 60%. There are two types of rough fish, namely green or succulent rough fish and dry rough fish. The next point was concentrates, which contain less than 18% crude fiber and more than 60% total digestible nutrients. There are two types of concentrates, which are energy-rich concentrates and protein-rich concentrates. For example, in raw fish, dry green grass and straw will include in dry raw fish, while pasture and green or succulent raw fish will include in green or succulent raw fish. For example, in concentrates, that were energy-rich concentrates, that is grain, and protein-rich concentrates, that is animal origin. For the nutrient, the setup the nutrient for the livestock animal follow the feeding standards, which is carbohydrate, protein, fat, fiber, vitamin, mineral, and water. Next, for the cattle, an adult cattle weighing 400 kg body weight consume 32 to 40 kg grain fodder. Minimum NDF concentrates in the diets for high-producing cattle are 25% to 30%. For the protein, the assumption that protein is 60% nitrogen. The recommended rate of vitamin D supplementation for adult dairy cattle is 30 IU per kilogram body weight, while vitamin E intake based on gestation stage, that terminal dry period, 1.8 IU kilogram body weight. Next, for the sheep, in general, an adult sheep consumes 2.5 to 3% dry matter of their live weight. Sheep can convert non-protein nitrogen and and substance into good quality microbial protein. Generally, sodium chloride is added at the rate of 0.5% in complete ration or 1% in concentrates. Approximately daily decalcium phosphate requirement for maintenance is 1 gram for every 1 kilogram of body weight. Pasture is generally high in vitamin A value. The B complex vitamins are synthesized in the rumen by microbial action. For the swine, for India conditions, it recommended only 3 stage, weighing 5 to 12 kg, growing 12 to 50 kg, and finishing 50 to 100 kg, up to 100 kg body weight. Creep mixtures are introduced at 7 to 15 days of age and are fed till weaning. They containing 20% protein with adequate minerals and vitamins. All India Coordinated Research Project on pigs recommended 1.5 to 1.8 kg of grower or finisher ration for breeding boars, depending upon the condition of boars.
Next, we move to the reproduction management in India. First of all, the main animal that mostly found in India are cattle. As we know, India possesses 27 acknowledged indigenous breeds of cattle and 7 breeds of buffaloes. These with different breeds are found in the dry parts of the country. Here are some examples of indigenous breeds of cattle in India. First is Haryana. Haryana is the center of origin is around Rohtak, Hisar and Gurgaon district. This is the most popular dual-purpose breed of the Indo-Gangetic plains and is widely spread in Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh and also in part of Madhya Pradesh. They are powerful work animals, good specimen of cows yield up to 1,500 kg of milk per lactation. Second is Gir. This is a native of Gujarat but also found in Maharashtra and Edison Rajasthan. Gir cows are good milkers. The milk yield range from 1,200 to 1,800 kg. The age at first calving varies from 45 to 54 months and the intercalving period from 515 to 600 days. Third one is Red Sindhi. Red Sindhis are small in size and are very good milkers. Milk production ranges from 1,250 to 1,800 kg. Age at first calving is 39 to 50 months and the calving interval is of 435 to 540 days. The fourth one is Sahiwal. Sahiwal is the animals are usually long and fleshy with heavier build. The milk yield ranges from 1,400 to 2,500 kg. The age of first calving ranges from 37 to 48 months and the calving interval is from 430 to 580 days. The last one is Dioni. This is an admixture of Gir, Dangi and local animals. Its native trait is in western Andhra Pradesh. They have high milk productivity. As the factors that affect the breeding efficiency for cattle are, first one is the number of ova, the percentage of fertilization, the embryonic death, the frequency of pregnancy, and the longevity. Other than that, the management practices to improve the breeding efficiency are breed cow near the end of mid-heat or heat period. Second, have females with discharges examined and treated by a veterinarian. Third, practice a general sanitation program. Fourth, supply adequate nutrition. Fifth, provide suitable shelter management. Sixth, get the female checked for pregnancy at 45 days to 60 days after breeding. Next, these are the examples of the breeding guidelines of cattle in India.
There are several diseases that affecting livestock in India. The first one is foot and mouth disease. Foot and mouth disease is an infectious disease that affects cloven hoofed animals. The symptoms is fever, blister inside the mouth and feet. For prevention, vaccination 6 monthly intervals to the animals. Second, Pistidyspeptic ruminant (PPR) or cold goat plague is a disease that affected goat and sheep. The symptoms is high fever and diarrhea. For prevention, first vaccination at 3 months of age and second vaccination at once a year. The last one is classical swine fever, which is a highly contagious and potentially a fatal disease that affects pigs. The symptoms is fever and yellowish diarrhea. Japanese swine fever vaccines is using in India to control the disease. There are two methods of waste management livestock in India. First, traditional method. Dung-cat is a cow manure which is dead dry under the sun and they used as fuel for cooking and heating. Second, dumping into pits. In this traditional method, all the waste material is dumped into a pit at farm or field. The last one is biogas production. Biogas production is an advanced method. The advantage of this method is simplest source of renewable energy and can be derived from sewage.
The animal products they produce. Animal products plays an important role in the socio-economic life of India. This is a research of high quality of animal products such as milk, meat, and eggs. India is emerged as the largest producer of meat with 21.24% share in total meat production in the world. India accounts for about 6.5% of the global egg production and also the largest population of meat animal in the world, with 109.85 million buffalo, 148.88 million goats, and 74.26 million sheep. Export of animal products respect important and significant contribution to the India agriculture sector. The export of animal products includes buffalo meat, sheep, goat meat, poultry product, animal casing, milk and meat product, and honey. In conclusion, livestock production may be increasingly characterized by difference between developed and developing countries, and with a very intensive production system on the one hand in India. The condition of their livestock is getting better till now due to existing of new technology. New technology among them is detector, which is created vaccination data which may be used for further research. The business also claims that their device can be used to inject live or inactive vaccine and pharmaceuticals for a variety of applications such as drinking water, sprays in fish and injections.